Hello. How we doing? Doing well? Doing awful? Hey man, you don't know. Someone could be having a fucking terrible day. It happens. Can't win them all. We're gonna talk about everything in a minute. Same thing as the last 2 weeks. Eventually I won't have to talk about this stuff. Actually, that's a lie. I'll definitely always have to talk about this stuff. Better safe than sorry. And it's not like it takes too long. You know, yeah, I've thought about using Aerosmith, but the problem with using Aerosmith as a pilot for spectating games is Aerosmith makes a constant droning noise, and it's really obnoxious. And as much as I'd like to hear that the entire time I'm trying to watch games and you're trying to watch games, I decided to pass on Aerosmith. I did think about that, though. I was going to do that for the first one, and then I was like, better not. You can see the pinned comment, I hope, so that I don't get 1,000 messages about joining and whatnot. Use SCR pilot? Oh yeah, that'd be great. Just slow down everyone playing. It's big brain. What's going on, Bed Bros? How you doing? Alright, I'm just gonna start talking now, because getting things started earlier rather than later is probably for the best. So, today we're doing a tournament. I've done this 2 weeks in a row, so if you weren't here for those, I'm gonna explain how things work for the most part, and hopefully you'll get a good grasp on it. The rules are gonna be relatively simple, and the way it's going to operate is the same as a whole lot of other 1v1 fighting game, video game tournaments. And that being, it's double elimination. And let me specify it this time, again, for the third time. Double elimination means that if you lose once, you're not out. You are not out until you've lost twice. That doesn't mean dying twice. That means losing twice. The matches are the same as 1v1s are in YBA. So if you die once, you're still in. If you die twice, you're out. So if someone kills you once and you kill them twice, then you've won the match. If you lose a match, let me just keep saying it over and over again, because every time someone leaves, every single time, bar none, someone leaves. The last 2 times. If you lose once, don't leave. You're not out yet. You still play another game. You're in losers bracket. Anyways, so you lose twice, you're out, whatever. Where are you going to be playing? Well, first of all, I talked to my good friend Kenny here, BTLA Crescent, and he's going to be helping me out better than last time. Mostly my fault. I poorly communicated it. But when we get down to it, he's going to be showing you where you should be going. But just for the sake of clarity, I'm going to show you regardless. So in the middle here is the first one. That's where I'll be spectating games, you know, that kind of stuff. That's where the first set of people will be fighting. Or one set of people, rather. Another area you'll be fighting is by that little area right before the train station. In that corner by the bridge. Not the bridge, the tunnel. The next is up here by the bow salesman. This corner is an area that you'll be playing in if you get sent over here. Hey, look, an arrow. Yoink. Honestly surprised my arrows weren't full, to be perfectly honest with you. The next up is over here by Trish in this corner. Sorry, I just gotta run all the way around all these places. And finally, the last one is by the little archway here by the castle. So this general area. The reason that these places are where they are is mostly because since they're spread out enough, time-related abilities like time stop, time erase, that kind of thing, hopefully they won't interfere with each other because they'll be far enough away. Obviously, sometimes that won't be the case, Like maybe if someone's right here and they time stop and there's people over here, they might get time stopped. But ideally, for the most part, that won't happen. Anyways, so I'm going to talk about rules really quick, just for the sake of clarity. The rules should be always available. They might not be. They should be always available at the bottom of the Eclipse Discord in the tournament rules thing. But in case someone messed up, myself or otherwise, the first rule that you need to consider is that you can't stray too far from where you're supposed to be playing. If you run too far outside of the bounds of where you're playing, at the very least, if I'm watching the match, and if you're in a game and someone runs like 8 miles away, you need to contest them on it. Because if, like, let's say I'm playing in the middle, and I run all the way down here, and I, let's say, cross this street here, that's too far. You've run out of bounds. You lose a stock. If you run out of bounds, you lose a stock by default. So if it's the last stock, you lose the match. So don't run out of bounds. Simple stuff. The second one is that all stands and abilities are allowed. I don't do any of that crap that I've seen one too many times in tournaments I've played in long ago, where people are like, well, you can only use one time stop, or you can't use X stand. We're not doing that here. You can use anything. You can spam whatever the hell you want. There's no caps on any of that. You can switch your stands, but in order to switch your stands, it has to be between a game and not between a stock. So if you die once, you can't stop the match to go. You can't stop the match to switch your stand and then come back. If you do that, you lose, because you can't do that. You can switch between games though. Interrupting an ongoing game will result in automatic disqualification. So if you attack someone that's playing a match, if you pilot around them with a pilot stand, if you attack anyone, distract anyone on purpose, use time stops around them, that kind of stuff, then you're going to get DQ'd. Don't do that. I know trolls will probably do it. Hopefully we don't get too many trolls today, but if you want to not be DQ'd, don't do that. Interrupting an ongoing game, I said that already. And attacking me while I'm spectating a match will also get you auto DQ'd. So if you drawbreaker me because you think it's going to be funny, or beat down me, or any of that, I'm going to DQ you. As a side note, if you're already out of the tournament and you do these things, you're just an asshole. And everyone knows you're an asshole. So don't be that guy. Seriously. If you went 0-2 and you're like, well, I'm going to leak the server code, you're a dickhead. Nothing more, nothing less. Anyways, I think that's all I had to... No. It's almost all I had to say. Unlike, like I said earlier, I have BTLA here helping me out. Instead of me announcing matches and where you should go, he's going to be doing it. So when you finish a game or you need to know where to go to him, find him. Most of the time, he should be in the middle. By the way, most of the time he should be in the middle. I didn't tell him that. If you don't find him here, he's probably showing someone where to play or looking for somewhere for someone to play. So just wait here. Don't wander around the map because he'll be back. And the last thing that I should note, which I just realized I forgot because I'm an idiot, is if you do get into the tournament, there's going to be a channel called Match Results Report. And in there is a template that'll be able to tell you, it'll say, for example, who you fought. You put your name, who you fought against, and who won. That way we don't have to hound around looking for who won games, and it will all be consolidated into one place. Anyways, with that, I'm going to open the channel, or BTLA open the channel. I don't know how to do it. Hang on. I'll figure it out. Yeah, that's good. Do that. We're going to open the tournament joins channel really quick for like a couple seconds and then close it again. If you lose, are you allowed to spectate matches? Do you need to leave? Yeah, you can stay. You don't have to leave. All right, I think we've shut it there. If you can't type now, it's because we shut the channel, because we have 14 slots. I should have mentioned that earlier, and definitely more than 14 people we're just on there. So let me get 14 people with a roll, and then we'll start getting things started. Oh, it's not closed. Well, it should be closed. Katie, close it if you get the chance. It's 1. It's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13 and 14. Okay, we should be good. Should be. Whether or not we're actually good is will remain to be seen. So let's get everyone in. Let me go grab the server code. Hang on. Let's see. Wow, I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I did. If I didn't spell that right, then it's on me. That's whatever. Hopefully, I actually get 14 people that join this time, and I don't have a disaster. Alright, that join code should work for those in the tournament. It's in the tourney server code. Make sure if you're in the tournament, you read the match results report channel so you know what you're doing after you play a game. Also, Kenny, by the way, I'll sanction off the first set of games just to kick things off since everyone's going to be in the middle. Then after that, good luck. You'll need it. What about the bracket thing? I'll send it to you. Once it's, I'll DM it to you once it's made. I haven't made it yet because I don't have everyone's names yet. I need to wait for everyone to get in. So I get names. I'm also praying to the lords above that 14 people join the server. Oh yeah, Kenny, also, if someone doesn't show up to a match, leaves or crashes, they lose. Just as a side note. We're at 9 right now, so we're chilling. How do I join the next tournament? Same as this time. It's gonna be the exact same layout, presumably anyway. Why is Mr. President? I don't see that going well. At 12, I think. I am, so I'll spoil a little bit of things probably next week. I'm not sure what I'll do, but I want to start doing like themes, so maybe like one stand only or something like that. Like a specific stand as a tourney idea. Not sure how I'll go about doing that, but why are there two Mr. Presidents? Oh boy. Alright, let's see what we're looking at. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still 12? I'm missing 2. Anyone who has the tournament participant role and is not in the server, let me know in the tournament chat so I know who you are and what your situation is. And if you entered and you got the role and you didn't join and you're not leaving a message, there's probably something wrong with you. I don't know what to tell you. Still at 12. Well, as per usual, people are causing me problems. Yeah, you shouldn't have gotten a message. You would have just had the role and you would have had access to the other channels. So, if you have access to those channels, like the tourney server code, I need you to join the server, otherwise I can't start. Well, I can start. I'll just start without you and we'll be 2 people down, but that would suck. Because I'm not going to go through the effort of trying to replace people. I'll just start 2 people down. Not a huge deal. Someone just leave? I saw someone disappear. I hope they just turn into a turtle. I'll give them another like minute and then I'm just going to start with the amount of people we have. Yeah, somebody disappeared. I'm pretty sure, unless I miscounted. Yep, we're 1 person down from earlier. We had 12, now we have 11. Nice. Yes, you mute people asking how to join, because if they're asking that, then they're blind. If you're asking how to join, you need to learn to read. It says right at the top, tournament joins are closed. If you could read, you would know that. Alright, I think I'm just going to start with 11 if that's what's going on here. Nope, we're back up to 12. Alright. We're to roll things out with 12. 2 down, that's fine. Not a huge deal. Okay. Gonna make the bracket. I'll send it over to Kenny, and hopefully this will work out. If it doesn't, then it'll be just me. Ideally, everything goes off without a hitch. It was working fine when we tested it earlier, so I think it'll work fine now, but we'll see. I gotta wait for it to load, unfortunately, because the website I use to make brackets takes 8 years to load. It's what I gotta work with, but I don't have too much of a choice. Now the only 12 people can join the server max, which means 12 is the max. No, because the max should be of players. It should be 16 unless it's been changed. The max players that can join a YBA private server are 16. So there's 14 players, me and Kenny. There should be. There's not because people didn't join. But that's what it should be, unless players have changed. But I find it hard to believe. Almost there. Yeah, you just have to bear with me. Sometimes this could take a minute. Twelve players, double elimination. Yep, alright. Now I just gotta wait. More waiting. I like loading. Loading's good. Loading's good for my health. Oh yeah, I forgot they changed the piloting. Look at that, you can stop on a dime now. That's way better. The pilot's so much better now. Okay, there we go. Okay. Alright, once I hit this button, we should be starting. I'll tell people where to go to start things off, and then we'll be good. I keep thinking that's a bubble bomb when people turn into a turtle. Also not entirely sure how we ended up with 2 Mr. Presidents, but it should be interesting at the very least. Kenny, I DM'd you the bracket, so. Last week's Star Platinum Day, today is Mr. President Day? Yeah. Yeah, for real. No, I was thinking it'd be fun if we had like actual days like that, where it was like an actual Star Platinum Day and it was nothing but Star Platinum. I think that'd be fun. We'll see. Alright. I've got the bracket up. I'm going to tell you where to go, so pay attention. I've got Pig and Yeetus. You guys are going to be by the castle archway, that way. So go over there. You can start your match whenever you're ready. PP and Vastrain, you guys are going into the corner by Trish, where the Trish NPC is. Let's see here. Dashing and the Killer, you guys are going to be in the Bow Salesman corner over that way. And finally, the last match that can be played right now is Tape and PSP, and you guys will be in the middle. Remember, when you win or lose a game, make sure you put it in the match results report channel. Ideally, the winner reports it, so don't both go in there. You're not playing yet, so you're not playing yet. This is supposed to be Tape and PSP, right? Well, someone's not here. Yeah, you could have not been called. I see PSP. Is that him? Yeah, it is. You're down here. Get out of here. Alright. Looks like we're going to get things started, hopefully. Tuskegg for Haman and Star Platinum the World Haman. This is going to be interesting. Yep, there it goes. Alright, it's kicking things off with the gold rectangle, maybe? Or not? I don't know. I don't know if they know they're supposed to be playing. Hopefully they do. Alright, looks like we're getting things started here. This is a match of the ages because we've got double beatdowns, and that Star Platinum of the World time stop is effectively completely useless if you think about it. Like, you're not going to do anything to Tuskegg 4. Speaking of beatdowns, easy whiffed beatdown. Not sure exactly where he thought that beatdown was coming from. And a parried beatdown, so no beatdowns we're going to be seeing for the first maybe minute of the match. We're going to see, I'm interested to see if Star Platinum of the World will try to even use time stop at all. Because, you know, you can get a little bit of damage with the time stop if you use it really effectively. But if you don't, it's just not going to do any damage. Choked on my words there. But, you're going to see a quick blocked wormhole uppercut. That move, you know, I've said that move is good in the past, or I said it was better. It is better, but I still think it's pretty bad. I don't think wormhole uppercut is worth getting personally. I also said T-time was bad. Big mistake on my part. T-time's not bad whatsoever. It looks like his Aura Kicks doesn't have any upgrades, though. Questionable build decision there. Aura Kicks with the max upgrades is really good considering that you can double barrage it. So it's always interesting when you see people that don't have it maxed out. Here's the time stop, but he's getting pelted with nails. So I'm curious to see if the time stop is long enough. Yep, it is long enough to stop the Tuskegg 4. But it looks like the Star Platinum of the World walked into his gold rectangle, which is kind of brutal. Not going to get a whole lot off the time stop. And so, I don't know. It's going to be hard for Star Platinum of the World to get damage here, unfortunately. He's just going to be spaced out by this Tuskegg 4 throwing projectiles. Good block break, though. I don't think he has the beatdown. Going to grab a quick zoom punch and a Scarlet Overdrive right afterwards. If he had the beatdown there, you know he wanted to use it, but he threw it out right in the beginning. Speaking of, I think that was Aura Kicks that just got parried, but yep, there's the beatdown. Another whiffed beatdown. I bet you he wished that he had that beatdown when he went for those Aura Kicks. But regardless, I think that means that our Tuskegg 4 is definitely, yep, I was about to say, he's definitely going to have his beatdown back here. So if he gets any sort of chance to use it, he's going to. And that's exactly what we're going to see here. Although the Tuskegg 4 beatdown doesn't do that much damage, but it also definitely doesn't do, like, no damage. And considering that he's Haman, and that'll run out entirely before the beatdown gets to its final few hits that do the most damage, it means that Tuskegg 4's beatdown does a whole lot more to Haman than a lot of the other specs. Well, boxing, rather. But it looks like the nails are getting stuck in midair. No such luck with the damage there. Gonna grab a few hits with the wormhole nails, but then gonna get hit with a Skull Crusher coming out. That was actually a pretty good timing of that, since you know that the Tuskegg 4 wasn't quite ready for it. You can still react, but since he was already blocking, he was probably on the parry buffer window, so you can't really use that. Gonna trade a Zoom Punch for a Heavy Punch and then get his Zoom Punch canceled. Star Platinum of the World looking for the damage because unfortunately right now I think he's just down. He got beat down, he's missed his beatdowns, and he keeps getting hit with projectiles. So I'm not sure how much damage our Tuskegg 4 has really taken. Plus, you have to consider that Tuskegg 4 does have the T healing. I'm not sure if he's used it yet. Oh, another parried beatdown. That's not looking good for our Star Platinum of the World. He's had, I think, two beatdowns been parried, two beatdowns been whiffed and one been parried now. Here comes the Awakening. Gonna go for the barrage and the Heavy Punch right afterwards. I think the Tuskegg 4 threw out a barrage there. Didn't quite work out. Also throwing out because he thought the Star Platinum of the World was going to pressure him, but he didn't, so that beatdown's not quite going to pay off. Block break, see how much damage we can get. 14 damage M1s. Star Platinum of the World with that with that awakening, it does a lot of damage, and it takes a lot less damage. As you saw there, the Tuskegee 4 Barrage only did 0.8 damage, and here comes the 1.7. It's going to get parried, though. We'll see what he gets off of it. Going to go ahead and try to do a Barrage. Definitely good to see the adaptation from the Barrage heavy punches that we keep seeing. With our Tuskegee 4 player successfully adapting against the star pilot in the world and getting the parries against those. A lot of the things that people don't consider is, for most players in YBA, they're not super smart, and so they'll do the same option a lot of times over and over again, and if you don't catch on to that, then you just can't win games, and it looks like we are going to be seeing that from the Tuskegee 4 player, so that's always a good thing to see. Higher skilled matches, more fun to watch for sure. More projectiles coming out, not hugely surprising. Tuskegee 4 really just wants to chip down on Star Pilot in the World and not get him close, because that huge destructive power is really going to hurt him. Nice Scarlet Overdrive there as punishing for the Zoom Punch. We're going to see another one of those gold rectangles come out and get stuck right as it comes out. I'm not entirely sure how that bug works, if the projectile still goes or if it just gets stuck in the air, but I'm hoping one of these days it fixes at the very least. And there's the beatdown. All right, we're seeing the first Star Pilot in the World beatdown coming out. And that obviously does way more damage than Tuskegee 4's beatdown. And honestly, he didn't have too much Haman charge, which means that's going to do a boatload of damage. But right as we get down from here, I think Tuskegee 4 is going to have his beatdown back too. So we'll see how that plays out. Beatdown wrapping up here. Any punishes afterwards? Yes, quite a few M1s coming out there. Only one landed, the rest getting blocked. And we can see that Tuskegee 4 is slowing down substantially, which means he's got to be low on health. You move slower when you get low on health. A whiffed beatdown, and I think, yep, there it is. I was about to say, I think this is probably going to wrap up the Tuskegee 4's first stock. Fun fact about, I was saying it there, fun fact about YBA is when you're low on HP, you start going slower. I think it's to prevent people from running away, but in reality, it's just super obnoxious, and I wish it wasn't in the game. But I also am 100% sure that I'm like the only one that thinks that, because everyone else is like, wah, runners! But I mean, you're already at a disadvantage of having no health, so slowing you down on top of that is a little bit of an insult to injury. But it looks like our Tuskegee 4 is going to be coming back here, stopping the type and getting punished for it. Can't really do that. Match is still going, buddy. Going to take a little bit of damage, get parried. Doesn't have the beatdown since he whiffed it earlier. Bet you he's wishing he had that beatdown now. That's really just what it comes down to a lot of times when it's managing cooldowns. The time stop gets stopped for Star Platinum in the World, and there's a parried beatdown. So that's going to be a lot of damage missed out on by our Star Platinum in the World player. But like I was saying earlier, a lot of YBA comes down to managing cooldowns, and when you just don't manage your cooldowns properly and throw them out, when you get hard punishes like that, like those parries or that block break just there, if he had a beatdown, that would have been confirmed, free beatdown. But since he used it earlier and whiffed it, it's just no good. That's why throwing out big moves like that is usually just not the right play. You want to have them almost confirmed or completely confirmed. Anyways, what we're seeing right now is actually really smart from our Star Platinum in the World player. I'm surprised that Scarlet landed. You have to just go for M1s, because trying to use any of Star Platinum in the World's moves outside of M1s and Aura Kicks is basically a free parry. There's a whiffed beatdown coming out from our Tuskegee 4, and I think Star Platinum in the World got his beatdown parried, but it should probably be coming back relatively soon. He's also got the World, but that's gotten canceled, I think, twice now, and he hasn't really made too much progress off of it. But honestly, using it and getting a little bit of damage is better than just never using it at all, at least in my opinion. And Skull Crusher is not a great move, but it is good for time stop, because even if they parry it, they still get stuck in place, which means you have a better chance of catching them and wasting their TS resist. Speaking of, you should not be able to use Skull Crusher in time stop. Someone patch that. Anyways, we're seeing the textbook gameplay of Tuskegee 4 trying to space out this Star Platinum of the World, but the Star Platinum of the World not really trying to give him too much space, while also trying to bide his time so he gets his cooldowns back. And there's a beatdown, exactly what I was saying, waiting for that punishable move and getting the beatdown for it. It looks like this is going to really, really hurt, because I don't think our... Oh no, he did have Haman charge, never mind. Alright, the big thing is you need to have your Haman charge and them not have theirs when that second hit of Star Platinum of the World beatdown comes out, because that does a lot of damage if it's buffed up and they don't have the damage resistance. That 20 damage on that last hit, it does so much damage just for one move. Time skip Zoom Punch coming out into Scarlet right afterwards. Smart, didn't block it, didn't want to take too much damage. Is going to block an M1, but then immediately eats a heavy punch for it and gets hit by those Aura Kicks. Without a time skip or anything to get out of it, he's not going to be able to get out. He does get the parry, though, and is going to disengage so that he can try to get his cooldowns back, I imagine. And there's a beatdown, which is going to allow our Tuskegee 4 player to heal a little bit of that damage back, while also taking away some of Star Platinum of the World's health. Something a lot of people don't really understand, or at least consider when it comes to Star Platinum of the World and Tuskegee 4's beatdowns, is they're so long that while you're in it, if you have high regen, and I think that'll take Star Platinum of the World's first stock here. I'm sorry, I don't know the player names, so my apologies on that one. But yeah, that'll wrap it up. Anyways, the beatdowns are so long that they allow you to heal if you have a higher regen, which is always nice. Regen being a obviously very good skill to have, or yeah, I guess it's skill to have your skill points in too. Starpoint of the World coming back here right afterwards with the Tuskak 4 trying to get some healing off. Not quite going to get it. Is going to eat a block break, and he's going to get beat down for it? Maybe not. I don't know if the Starpoint of the World had his beat down back or if he just didn't want to risk it. But he is going to be putting the pressure on for sure right now. Does not want to be losing this match, and he does not want him to be able to charge. That was a weird dash zoom punch we had there, but Star Platinum of the World successfully going to be able to land a zoom punch. Scarlet right afterwards, some free damage. If our Tuskak 4 player was paying a little bit more attention, he'd probably be able to block either block some of those or at least M1 them. Oh no, yep, all right, that's gonna wrap it up with our Star Platinum of the World taking it with a XD funny beatdown. PSP takes the game over tape. Well played. Beatdown match of the century. Oh, Kenny already beat me to it. I was gonna do that. All right. Speaking of Kenny, I don't know where he's at. I gotta figure out who's not playing. Well, I guess I could look right here and figure out who's not playing. Hang on. Vastrain. Vastrain and Skinny, let's hit you guys in the middle. One of the Mr. Presidents. This should be interesting, right? I don't know what I don't know. I think Skinny's the one with Mr. President and Vastrain's the one with... Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! All right. We're getting things started here. The World Over Heaven versus Mr. President. Oh, my God. Okay. So we're gonna see a barrage coming out here from Vastrain. Gonna do a lot of damage. The world. Oh no! Oh no! Vastrain with a time stop. This is gonna be doing. Yeah, I think he just died. Yep. Okay. Skinny's down a stock. Not looking good for our boy right now, Mr. President. This might be our shortest match in Eclipse tournament history. Yeah. All right, Skinny's coming back with a vengeance. He really wants this kidnap. Gonna get tagged quick with those Heaven Ascended knives. Almost good with that AoE. He is gonna get the kidnap though. He needs big damage here because if he doesn't get big damage, well, press H to win as per usual. Looks like I don't really know what's going on here. He's standing right over the grate. If he's gonna chuck him in the sewers, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to count that. But you know what? He's at such a massive disadvantage that I don't even know if I can super fault him for that. And he's gonna get smited anyway. The cheese doesn't work out in his favor. He's getting the crap beaten out of him. There's a barrage. I think this is probably gonna take it, quite honestly. There's gonna be a quick jawbreaker coming out after the barrage. Some free damage, more AoE knife stun. The knife stun may have gotten nerfed a little bit, but it's not entirely. And he's gonna go in his room, probably heal back to full health. So, Vastrain, not liking that, but you know what? It just gives him time to get that time stop, and you know what happens when the World Over Heaven gets time stop. I really don't think this is going to be going well, but it's not over yet. We are going to see Vastrain 100% also at full health, and Skinny going to come back with full health. I don't think it's going to matter, though. I think he's just stalling out the inevitable. I really am not entirely sure. We can see how long it's going to take him to heal back to full. I think I should definitely put some sort of rule in place so you can't sit in Mr. President's room forever, but that's for another time. As of right now, we'll just see what's going on here. Some AoE knife stuns that didn't work. Gonna go back into the room. If he stays in there for another, like, I don't know, 15 seconds after taking no damage, I think we're just going to have to DQ him because at this point he's stalling, and every other tournament has something against stalling. Oh, but we are going to see a quick reality overwrite punch after the smite, and I think we'll also probably see a time stop coming out soon. He's going to eat the barrage, isn't able to move very fast because he got hit by that overwrite and it took his leg, got hit by an eye gouge and then a jawbreaker right afterwards, and there's no way he has very much health left. You know he wants to get back into that room, but it looks like it's just not going to happen, and there it is. That's going to wrap the game up with Vastrain taking it over Skinny's Mr. President. Can't say I'm all that surprised. Oh, man. That's too good. That is funny. Alright. Let's see what we got here. PSP just played, right? Is Evil up here? Am I blind? Oh, yeah, he is. He's right there. Let's get Evil Programmer and PSP in the middle for me. This Purple Haze and something. Oh, Star Plat in the World. Gotcha. Alright, so Haman, Purple Haze, and Star Plat in the World. Purple Haze is an interesting case because I used to say that the stand was, oh, we're starting things off with a time stop. Can't say I'm totally surprised as Purple Haze doesn't have any TS resist, and I don't think Evil has put down any sort of poison yet, which means he's going to take big damage from that. Isn't going to go for the confirm though, so not going to get the funny one-shot kill, but definitely going to do a lot of damage. I was about to say there, as long as PSP is really careful with these capsules, he's just not going to take too much damage from the capsules themselves, but the poison does quite a bit of damage. I have said in the past that Purple Haze is under the completely useless tier, and big beatdown. Honestly, after the time stop, I think that might be able to take his entire health bar. Evil might just lose his first stock getting completely cheesed out right now. But regardless, Purple Haze is not useless garbage, but it's also not like anything really special. It's not super good, but it's not unusable anyways. So I don't think I'll totally count him out, but going against Star Plat of the World without TS resist is basically a death sentence. So as long as PSP, yep, there goes the first stock. As long as PSP really knows what he's doing and capitalizes on his cooldowns, this is almost unwinnable. And you know that Evil is definitely cursing his bracket right now that he got matched up against Haman, Star Plat in the World right off the bat. But we did see a quick stock there because PSP was able to use the world right off the bat and immediately Skull Crusher to get right behind him and then beat him up because for some reason you can use Skull Crusher and time stop. Still not sure why that's a thing, but it looks like Evil's going to be coming back here, grab a quick 5.5 and going to get the poison applied. Hasn't gotten rage yet. Going to get the quick, what the hell is that? Bolt Breaker Punch? That's what it is. I'm never going to remember the moves for Purple Haze, so I apologize in advance. But I think it's like Capsule Throw and Bolt Breaker Punch. There's a Capsule Throw. And then there's, no, Bolt Breaker Punch is the one that you punch them and then it explodes. It's Ground Bolt Breaker Punch. Looks like we're going to be going potentially out of the play area here. And I think, yeah, I'm going to have to make a call here. Maybe not. I probably should, but I won't for right now. But it looks like that was, if you go that far, if I see that again, I'm going to have to do something about it. Going to be the big poison cloud here, and this is exactly what I'm seeing. It's the momentum-based stuff we've got going on here, where Evil's got the momentum now, and as long as he keeps applying poison, there's the first stock being taken. Like I said, you can't totally count them out, because once Purple Haze starts getting momentum, gets you poisoned, you start panicking, that's when you start taking the big damage. And so PSP's going to come back, he's going to have his time stop and beatdown, and that's basically going to decide this match, I think. If he manages to get a good time stop and one good beatdown, then that'll probably be good. There's the time stop coming out. We're going to see probably a Skull Crusher. Doesn't even need the Skull Crusher. Maybe we'll see a combo off of the time stop potentially. I don't know how. Yep, here it is. All right, combo off the time stop. Going to get a few more M1s. Going to try to get the Scarlet Overdrive. It's not going to work out though. Not sure how that ground punch didn't work out, but oh my god, yeah, random neutral beatdown, and I think that could potentially take the game. I'm not sure entirely how much damage that Evil took from that time stop, but there's a good chance that this is going to finish him off, and that'll finish up the game. That's really a shame, because that beatdown basically came out of nowhere, and I'm surprised that PSP was comfortable throwing that up, considering that it was pretty much a game decider. Evil not dying, but he is going to get the Awakening. If he gets barraged one time, it's pretty much over. Gonna get a quick hit with a heavy punch there to cancel the barrage. Gets his Skull Crusher canceled. Interesting case of that. You can see that he's just trying to barrage in order to get some free damage with that Awakening, since he knows he does so much damage, and he also knows that Evil is definitely almost dead. Gonna get a quick hit with that final hit of the Kick Barrage, and we're gonna see not quite gonna get the barrage. As we can see, Evil's just not panicking, throwing out his moves when he can. I think that Star Platinum of the World's going to finish it up, though, because I can't see Evil surviving another big time stop like that unless PSP really screws up. Nope, that's going to wrap it up. Time stop versus TS Resist never really goes well in your favor, with PSP taking the game over Evil. Purple Haze, honestly, not that terrible, but when you're going up against Star Platinum of the World, your game doesn't go well. We'll just say that. Let's see who's over here. Let's see what we're working with. Are there any matches that can be played right now? Surely there's at least one. Yeah, let's get Kilingo and Yeetus. Let's get you guys in the middle. See what we're looking at here. Two boxing players, that much I know. Star Platinum of the World and a Silver Chariot Requiem. This should be interesting. Press H to win versus press H to win, but one of them has a beatdown. And the other one has a double barrage it shouldn't have. Should be an interesting match. Someone's gonna have to start this. It ain't gonna be me. Purple Ace can come back to the losers bracket? Yes, it can. All right, we're going to get things started with the Star Platinum of the World immediately using Star Platinum of the World right off the bat to get a lot of free damage, but isn't going to be able to get too much damage because he did hit him with the Skull Crusher. We're going to see, I think it's Kilingo using the Silver Chair. Oh, beatdown. Holy crap, range on that thing. So we're going to see the beatdown coming out. I'm trying to remember who's playing. Kilingo and Yeetus. So... but the interesting note there is we're going to see since Yeetus decided to use the Skull Crusher to get closer to him, that does ragdoll them at the end of TS, which is going to make it so that Kilingo ragdolls and isn't going to eat a big combo. But like I said, got hit by the beatdown right there. Kilingo going to quick use the Your Own Shadow and pose during it since there's not a whole lot he can do. And we're going to see a Conqueror's Will coming up. Hopefully Kilingo can recoup some of that damage that he lost from the... it looks like he might have messed up the cheese combo. He did mess up the cheese combo, but he still managed to get it because Yeetus mistimed the dash out. Unfortunate for him. It's going to take the full combo, but because that combo takes so long, it is going to mean that Star Platinum of the World is going to be able to get a lot of his cooldowns to regain, which is going to be really good for him. But as long as Kilingo keeps putting on this pressure, there's the Arrow Barrage coming out, some free damage, some more M1s, going for a Jawbreaker right afterwards, doesn't quite hit. But that's exactly what I was talking about. Another Star Platinum of the World. He's going to use Skull Crusher again, which isn't going to allow him to combo. Is going to knock him down. He actually was able to combo because of how long Jawbreaker's stun is, even after the... even after him standing up. We're going to see both of them posing as Kilingo uses his Your Own Shadow to pose, and then immediately going in for another Arrow Barrage. There's a beatdown coming out. Looked like it probably should have landed, but it didn't. Just getting YBA'd. Going to come in with a dash and a Jawbreaker right away. And really, Kilingo wants to put the pressure on while our Yeetus doesn't have any of his cooldowns up other than, well, maybe like Jawbreaker and his boxing moves. But outside of that, he doesn't have a whole lot that he can work with. Whereas Kilingo's got that Arrow Barrage, and he can barrage normally and then barrage himself out. There's that Boxing Barrage coming out. You know, I always question the use of Boxing Barrage. I always have, and you see me question it every single time. Gonna try to do the Panic Barrage out. I think that could potentially wrap up the stock, though, because he doesn't successfully get out, and he's gonna eat the double barrage here, and maybe even more damage afterwards. Yep, there's a Jawbreaker. But maybe we'll see an Eye Gouge coming out here. Nope, not quite. But we know that Yeetus is definitely hurting. He's gonna pop the Your Own Shadow, and there's another Star Platinum of the World. We'll see if it manages to do enough damage to Kilingo's health. Unfortunately, we haven't seen too much damage off of those time stops, and usually Kilingo just pops Your Own Shadow and heals most of it back. So I'm interested to see. Platinum Slam coming out doesn't get parried, but also doesn't land. So you know what? Net positive really for, or no one gains really anything. Another not Your Own Shadow, another Conqueror's Will coming out from Kilingo. This could potentially wrap up the stock because we know that Yeetus was hurting earlier. Doesn't have the Eye Gouge though, so he's not able to true confirm that combo, but is going to grab the Jawbreaker, which does enough damage to break his block. Looks like not gonna be able to have his barrage back in time, and so he is gonna take some hits from that barrage. But because the barrage was on cooldown, he's gonna get barrage right afterwards and eat another Jawbreaker. Both of these players having tons of health, of course, because they're boxing. Nope, joints are closed. Sorry, Chief. I don't know who that was. My apologies. Anyways, we've got, the interesting part here is I'm not sure who's got more health because we've seen a lot of damage, but there's a good parry coming out and the arrow barrage immediately to follow. We haven't seen too much use of, I was about to say exactly that. We haven't seen too much of use of Helping Hand, but it looks like Kilingo's remembering that is a move he has access to. I actually fall into that trap a lot when I use SCR. I forget that that's even a move, and with how long of a cooldown it is, you can really be hurting. But here's another time stop coming out. Yeetus is on about 3, maybe 4 time stops and hasn't managed to finish up the stocks yet, which is kind of interesting to be honest. Needs to be more, needs to get a little bit more damage with those. Doesn't realize that this is Your Own Shadow, throws his barrage away and is going to eat that double barrage. It's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to try to block, and that's going to take the first stock in Kilingo's favor, but it really wasn't pretty after those 4 time stops, so you know Kilingo had to have been hurting at least a little bit. What really needs to be happening here is Kilingo needs to, or not Kilingo, Yeetus needs to be getting more off these time stops because Kilingo's been capitalizing absolutely marvelously off of his Conqueror's Wills, but Yeetus' time stops just haven't been getting him too much damage. Must not have seen the time stop problem video with the Aura Kicks nonsense maybe, but regardless, he should be able to win this match if he's careful. Maybe not though, because he's just going to get block broken straight away. Going to barrage himself out of this, but he's going to eat the double barrage I think anyway. Maybe not. Maybe Kilingo used his barrage. I could be wrong. Actually, I think Kilingo was probably waiting for that exact thing so he didn't barrage back. I bet you that's what it was. But unfortunately, Yeetus knows better, waits, doesn't use the beatdown, and then throws it out in neutral. Somehow works. I never understand how those things work, but you know what? Sometimes they do. The beatdown not doing too much damage, of course, because Yeetus doesn't have it boosted by any sort of passive buffs, and Kilingo's boxing, of course, reducing the damage. Only 15 damage on that final hit. Here comes the Star Plat of the World. Time stop coming out. We'll see how much damage he can get off of this. He does a Skull Crusher again. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get any sort of combos off of it. Looks like he is going to grab a quick Aura Kicks, but because it's not maxed out, Kilingo is going to be able to use his Your Own Shadow and heal back some of that health. And here comes a Conqueror's Will as well. I'm, holy, what the hell's going on? I'm slowly falling off along with all these other people. Anyways, looks like he successfully got that combo. I hope I don't get stuck on the ladder. I think I'm getting stuck on the ladder. I'm hearing blocks. There's a block break coming out from Kilingo. That's what we see. We've seen a lot of. We've seen a lot of block breaks this match, and that's really not what you want to see. Sometimes it's just better to take the damage than it is to take the block break. Although, honestly, with SCR, there's not too many hugely damaging moves, so maybe that's not necessarily the case. We're going to see Kilingo healing up here after taking some of that damage from that beatdown earlier. And it looks like he's going to pull out the Your Own Shadow as well as a barrage and another Jawbreaker coming out. Yeetus is probably hurting on health, and I don't really think Kilingo is. A parried beatdown coming out from Kilingo. He's going to grab a quick arrow barrage right afterwards. And I expected to see a Jawbreaker after it, but it looks like he wasn't going to go for it. Canceled time stop. That's really, really bad for Yeetus. That's not what he wanted. His time stops being one of the few ways he can get a lot of damage versus SCR, since SCR's constantly got that Your Own Shadow negating damage, just like I said right there. And so without time stop, there's not a great amount of things you can do in this matchup, because you can't really do a whole lot about Conqueror's Will either. So definitely a volatile matchup, but not over yet. We're seeing it's definitely Kilingo favored, but it's not over. We're going to see a blocked barrage successfully by Yeetus, and he's going to get a barrage of his own, but he doesn't have the maxed out Aura Kick, so he's not going to be able to true confirm it. He's going to go for the Jawbreaker instead, which does work out. Kilingo healing, Yeetus letting him heal for a little bit, grabbing a quick 4 damage with the M1s without the with the boxing gloves. Unfortunately, what we're seeing here is the pilot usage, and Yeetus is just going to get stuck mostly in a corner. He is going to be able to try to go catch him though. Kilingo throwing out the arrow barrage, skating on the edge of the bounds here, but looks like he's not going to go quite out of them yet, so we're not going to have to worry about that too much. Both of them healing. Looks like they're probably going to heal mostly back to full health. Kilingo looking like he has potentially has a higher health pool than Yeetus, considering that he stopped healing sooner. But then, of course, Yeetus coming in with the time stop. We're going to see how much damage he's going to be able to get off of this. He did go for the... doesn't get the job or the eye gouge. We did see that he also went for the more healing. Oh, and there's a Conqueror's Will. I don't know if this is going to be enough damage to wrap it up. I'm going to be honest. It's probably going to be close. I think Yeetus is definitely going to be hurting. He messed it up there, mistimed on the eye gouge, but not a huge deal. Going to still get the combo as per usual. Kilingo screwing up a few times, but he still managed to get it. Another parried beatdown. That's the second parried beatdown. Kilingo really flexing with his reaction time right now for sure. We're going to see a few M1s coming out, and then another, what is that move? Your Own Shadow. I'm bad at commentating. Anyways, I'm interested to see how much damage that Conqueror's Will really did, since I was down on the ground, so I couldn't totally see. But it looks like Yeetus isn't too worried about his health pool, so it couldn't have done that much damage. We're going to see the pilot coming out from Kilingo. Going to throw out the arrow barrage and retreat his stand in order to get a few free hits and get a jawbreaker right afterwards. The thing that's, there's a star pilot in the world coming out. I think the thing that's really holding Yeetus back is that he's always punching with his boxing gloves out, which is really neutering his damage. Gonna get screwed over once again by the Skull Crusher, which knocks them down, of course, after the TS finishes, not letting him combo. He keeps going for combos afterwards. Gonna get his Platinum Slam parried and immediately followed up with a Jawbreaker, which is gonna do a solid 19 damage. But like I said, Kilingo's doing his M1s, even though he gets negligible damage increase, he's doing his M1s with his stand, whereas Yeetus always has his boxing gloves out, which means when he goes for his M1s, he doesn't do nearly as much damage. That really is just a muscle memory thing, something I consistently struggle with since I don't play a whole lot of boxing. One of the pros of playing Haman, but it's also a nerf because, you know, you don't get those big boxing passives. You know, the debate of the century, Haman or boxing, and then of course you've got like the pluck enthusiasts around. But regardless, and the 0 people playing Vampire. I guess there's some people that play Spin. But it looks like we're going to be doing some quick M1 damage here, both between Yeetus and Kilingo. Kilingo gonna go in with the Your Own Shadow and try to get the barrage, but it looks like Yeetus is gonna block it. I don't know if he has a barrage himself, but we're gonna see them trading the Conqueror's Will for the time stop. This is actually not good. This is a bad trade for, I was about to say, Yeetus, because his star pot, or not Yeetus, it's a bad trade for Kilingo because the Conqueror's Will has a longer cooldown than Starplight of the World's time stop, which means that the time stop's gonna be back before the Conqueror's Will is, which isn't necessarily a good sign for Kilingo, but we have seen that he doesn't necessarily rely entirely on Conqueror's Will in order to get damage, so I don't think he's super worried about it. He probably just didn't want to take damage from that time stop, reacted to the animation and said, nah, I'm not dealing with that time stop, eat this Conqueror's Will. But we are seeing a lot of damage coming out, but Yeetus is going to mash the beatdown out of stun, which is going to pay off. That's really a 50-50 trade, but after getting parried twice now, I can see why Yeetus wouldn't want to be able to try to go at that at a neutral, and does try to do it at a disadvantage, which does work out in his favor. We're going to see a little bit of damage from beatdown, but I think Kilingo already had quite a bit of health, so I don't think this is going to affect him too much. Almost falls down the sewer, doesn't quite. We're going to see another Your Own Shadow coming out, and I bet you we'll see the double barrage. Yep, there it is. I don't know if Yeetus has his barrage yet. Not looking like it, because he's about to get hit by a Jawbreaker, which breaks his block, and there's a barrage to get out, but now he doesn't have it, but he does have time stop. Like I was saying earlier, Conqueror's Will takes a longer time to come back, so Yeetus already has his time stop coming back and ready to go. He's going to pick up quite a bit of damage. Kilingo, of course, trying to heal that damage back. Both of them healing, but Kilingo having probably a higher health pool. Going to hit himself with his own Platinum Slam, which looked like a bad play and probably was a mistake, but didn't actually turn out to be a bad play because he managed to get himself out of there from that barrage, and he didn't want to get hit with that barrage. But the barrage cooldown, not that long, trying to punish with a barrage because he saw him use his barrage earlier, but he's going to eat this double barrage because he waited a little bit too long. Going to get block broken again, eat another eye gouge and a few M1s. 3 M1s coming out, total of 15 damage. Not a whole lot, but it does stack up over time, and if Kilingo keeps getting these block breaks, we could probably see it finishing up. There's a beatdown coming out, doesn't quite work out, and we are going to see another Conqueror's Will. We'll see if Kilingo can capitalize. Yep, I think I heard a bruh, so that's gonna wrap things up with Kilingo taking it over Yeetus with his Silver Chariot Requiem. here. Did I record that? No. I will. Okay. Let's get a losers match maybe, because we haven't seen any of those. If anyone's here, let's see. Actually, I think all the losers matches are playing. Probably. I'll take a look around. I think all the losers matches are playing right now. We've got... Is Killer and PSP up here? I didn't see them. I wasn't paying too much attention though. Oh, they are. All right. Let's get the Killer and PSP in the middle. I think PSP was the one with Star Platinum of the World, right? Yeah. And I don't know if we've watched a game with Killer, another Star Platinum of the World. So we got double Star Platinum of the World. Star Platinum of the World, Haman, Ditto match going on here. So this is going to be, once again, as usual, live or die by the beatdowns. We're going to see PSP going right in, but the Killer immediately using time stop right off the bat. PSP running the hell away from that, doesn't want to take any damage successfully. No damage taken from PSP. Killer's time stop not going to be getting too much. With the Killer immediately throwing out the... Awakening. He's probably wanting to try to parry one of the moves, and there a beatdown, awakened Haman beatdown. We're going to see a lot of damage coming out with, I don't know how much charge PSP had. Looks like he had a decent amount, so he should be fine. But once again, this does a ton of damage since it's an awakened beatdown, and because it's Haman, his Haman runs out by the end of it, which means he's going to take a boatload of damage, more than I'm sure PSP is wanting to take right now. Going to get hit with that heavy punch to finish it up, and there's a Platinum Slam coming out. Interesting thing, we've got both Star Platinum of the World's Awakening, but PSP is definitely going to have his last significantly longer, considering that the Killer already used his, and I wonder if we're going to... Oh, here comes beatdown maybe? Nope, not quite. Not going to go for the beatdown, and there's the beatdown. Not sure why he didn't go for the beatdown after that parry. Definitely could have confirmed it there. He went for the zoom punch instead. Not entirely sure why, but it is what it is. It looks like Killer is mostly wanting to time out this beatdown by playing a little bit passive, running circles around him. Not a bad play. Probably what PSP should have done last time. We're going to see the big difference in Aura Kick's timing there, with PSP having a significantly slower speed than Killer, which is going to hurt him big time, because Killer right there reacted to PSP's Aura Kicks, but still managed to use his Aura Kicks, despite using them afterwards. His finished faster, which gives him significantly more damage. I don't know if PSP has any upgrades on his Aura Kicks, which is an interesting play. Like I said, I think I said that earlier. But throwing out the barrage, not going to work out. I'm not sure if Killer missed a barrage or what happened there. But just threw a stone mask in the middle of the thing. That's kind of funny. Looks like PSP picked that up. Gonna throw out the Skull Crusher. Obviously not gonna work out in these levels of play. Of course that's gonna get parried. Thank God. Giving me flashbacks to the first tournament where we kept seeing Skull Crushers not get parried. That's free. Although I do have to consider that I ragged on those guys pretty hard. But since I'm in EST and the servers run out of the Eastern time zone and the servers are on the East Coast US, there are going to be some people that are obviously from out of state, out of country, and those people are going to have a harder time parrying because of the latency. We are going to see Killer going for it. Oh, there's a beatdown. All right, so PSP is going to grab the beatdown versus Killer. He doesn't have it boosted up by his Awakening, and it doesn't look like he had that much Haman, but he did have just enough for that second hit, which, as I was saying earlier, does increase the damage quite a bit. I don't think this is going to finish Killer off by any right. It might, but I don't think so. But we are going to see a lot of damage coming out for sure, and a time stop right afterwards, but for sure Killer's too far to be getting hit by this. Whoa, where the hell did I just get sent? Alright, actually it looks like Killer is going to get caught with the time stop, and PSP is going to wrap up Killer's first stock. I'm surprised because we saw Killer get a awakened beatdown, but PSP is still able to take the stock. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Maybe just more M1 interactions or a difference in skill tree. But it's definitely interesting to see that kind of interaction play out, and PSP still coming out on top.
Hammond, you got this.
Yeah, thanks. I think your cheering odds are probably in good favor there. You've probably say about 80% chance of winning that match. Thank you, Toaster. Anyways, like I was saying earlier, I think the difference here is PSP's probably getting more M1s than Killer is, whereas Killer's throwing out more moves, but the moves are getting parried or missed because they're Star Platinum of the World moves, and for the most part, they suck. There's a Zoom Punch coming out. PSP going for the M1 into a Zoom Punch. I think I talked about this on last tournament stream, but going for that pretty much always fails, at least for me. It might be a true combo if you're frame perfect, but if you're not super careful, I don't think you can block a Zoom Punch, get an M1, and then Zoom Punch them for it. I know Starfinger you can't do that. And I see a lot of people, myself included, try that and it doesn't work. Looks like Killer's going to pop his Awakening here to try to get some free damage. Going to go for the Aura Kicks. Does manage to get Clip in with that last hit, which gets the 13 damage and catches the get up with a barrage. But I don't really know what happened there. It looks like he just flew out. I think he might have missed like 1, maybe 2 of his hits on the barrage. But you know, Killer's probably looking for that beatdown again, I would imagine. We're going to see maybe a beatdown coming through here. We got both of them awakened, but Killer's is not looking great. It's probably about to run out. Going for the dash Zoom Punch, is gonna pull it off and gonna go for the beatdown. Could have parried that by holding block, but it looks like PSP was not, and so he's gonna eat this beatdown. We've got a invisible man here, I guess, suppose. Not sure what's going on there. All right, looking like the beatdown's gonna wrap up here with PSP really looking low on HP. After that, I don't know if that was an awakened beatdown, but it definitely was a beatdown nonetheless, and you don't want to be taking that damage. Killer gonna get that parry, gonna go for 2 M1s and a Zoom Punch. Fun fact, thanks for whoever DM'd me it because I'm dumb, and I told you were wrong, and then I never told you that you weren't wrong because you weren't wrong. There's another parried Skull Crusher. They really need to stop throwing these out. But if you do get a parry, you can actually get 3 M1s and a Zoom Punch. It's a true combo, but you need to be really quick about it. It's a lot safer to get 2 M1s, so in a tournament setting like this, if you want to be consistent, obviously you should go for 2. But if you're really quick, you can actually get 3. Not off of block breaks, though. What a lot of people don't know or understand about block breaks is block breaks have the same amount of stun time as parries do, but because your block break moves have end lag on them, you can't get as big punishes. So, like, if you do a Scarlet Overdrive and then try to get 3 M1s and a Zoom Punch, that's probably not going to work out in your favor, mostly because you're in the end lag of Scarlet after the block break, so you can't get the attacks off quite as fast. We're going to see a time stop coming out here from Killer, only going to get hit. PSP only going to get clipped with that, I think that was the Skull Crusher, which, I mean, hey, better to use it there. Oh, another beatdown coming out. I think PSP's gotten beat down twice in a row, so, yep, that's going to take him out. Killer's taking the first stock, so it looks like we're looking at 1-1, I think, assuming I'm not wrong. I think Killer is winning mostly off of these beatdowns, to be quite honest with you. He's definitely hit more of them than PSP. Looks like PSP's back here. He wants beatdowns of his own for sure, considering that he keeps getting beatdown himself. There's a Zoom Punch going out. Gonna get a few quick M1s and gonna go for that Scarlet Overdrive, but it's not gonna play out since Killer, of course, can time skip out. There's another time stop coming out, and oh, this could be really bad. This is going to be really bad because that Skull Crusher stops you in place and removes a lot of your TS movement, so that's gonna be a lot of damage, and he's gonna get the barrage afterwards while he's burning. That's huge damage for PSP, and that's gonna wrap it up. 1 time stop. PSP's gonna take the game. Man, you do not want to get caught with that. Time stop is a scary move and needs to be completely reworked. Watch my video, Lamau. No plugs. Totally not shilling. All right, let's see what we're rolling with. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was tabbing out. Might be. Let's see here. Kalingo's over here. Do we have anyone in losers that finished the game yet? I want to see a losers match game, because if we blow through winners bracket, then we're gonna have to wait for all the losers bracket games to finish, and I want to give the winners bracket guys a break. Evil. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see who you're playing. Is Pig around here? Or did he quit the game? Might just have to move someone because I don't see them. Hang on. Looks like they quit out, so we'll just move them on for now. That's almost fun. All right. Remember what I said about people quitting after they lose one match? Case in point. How many times do you need to lose to get out of this tournament? Twice. So if you die twice, you're not out yet until you die twice again. You have to die a total of 4 times across. You need to die twice in 2 matches. It's the best way I can explain it. You lost. You haven't fought again. All right, let's see. You're dashing. Let's get you and Skinny if he's around. Is he around here? Is Skinny still in the game? Yeah, he is. Let's get you and Skinny in the middle really quick. And Kenny, I think we've got some losers matches games that can be played. Maybe. I'm not sure. Take a look around. All right, so we're that should be an interesting matchup with Hermit Purple and Mr. President. Definitely not the the big hitters we've been seeing in the last things, but Hermit Purple can definitely tear things up if he's doing it right. And of course, Mr. President using the kidnap for big damage and being able to heal himself for most of his health back, or well, in here all of it really. It should be interesting, mostly because both these characters or stands don't have barrages, so we're not just going to see a ton of big damage coming out from barrages. So it really comes down to how many Hermit Purple stuns that we're going to see Dashing able to land, whereas if Skinny is able to land these kidnaps, of course, we're going to see that. A whiffed kidnap coming out. I'm not sure how much end lag that has, if I'm being perfectly honest. Dashing going in for a grab there. Not going to work out, though. Isn't going to go for the Vine Trap. And we're going to see Skinny go into his room. Not entirely sure why, considering he hasn't taken any damage yet. But he's going to come back out and go for another kidnap. Not going to work out. And there's a quick big damage coming out from Dashing, with, of course, grabbing with that Vine Trap number 2. Good update. Definitely made Hermit Purple much more of a threat than it used to be before. Not completely useless anymore. In fact, I would say that that second Vine Trap is honestly one of the best abilities in the game. It's just a shame that the rest of Hermit Purple's, well, it's good actually that the rest of Hermit Purple's kit can't completely capitalize on it. But really, if you think about it, what Vine Trap number 2 is effectively Rock Trap on command. So on teams, that thing is a monster. We're going to see another miss from kidnaps coming out here. Or kidnaps. We're going to see another missed kidnap coming out here from Skinny. But it's interesting. We haven't seen too many of that Vine Trap 2. You know what we've also not seen is a whole lot of the Joestar technique, which is really good for Hermit Purple since it gives you a lot of mobility options, considering that it doesn't cancel when you use moves, and you can stop and start sprinting during it. We're going to see Skinny going to go ahead and use his turtle mode here, which isn't really optimal since he can't get barraged or get too much off of it. But we are going to see another turtle mode coming out here, with Dashing not really doing much of any damage to Skinny. So we're going to see how much damage we can get. Of course, Skinny fishing for these kidnaps. Another turtle mode. I can't tell the difference between shell form and turtle mode, but that only does 1.4 damage, which is really effectively nothing if we're being honest here. It looks like this one could potentially take a while, and I'm going to be level with you here. I don't know how Dashing is going to be able to take this, because he doesn't, I'm not sure what spec he's using, but he really just can't do that much damage. We're going to see a grapple come out here. Doesn't go for the Vine Trap. Does go for the Vine Trap 2, though. Doesn't capitalize at all off of the Vine Trap 2. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing. Words. Did Skinny just go into his room again? Yeah, he went into the room again. Not sure why he keeps going in there. He's not taking any damage. We are going to see a little bit of damage from that heavy punch coming out, but not a whole lot of it. And here comes, yep, that's going to be the first time trying to use the Vine Trap, and immediately going to get parried for it. And looks like he's going to get his kidnap parried and immediately get hit with that Vine Trap 2. Going to get some damage here. It looks like finally we're going to see a little bit of damage coming out from Dashing, but I don't know how long this match is. It's too bad we don't have like a timer or something, because I don't know how long this could go on for. 6 damage from that grapple, and it looks like Skinny's going to go back into his room and heal it all back. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to start putting a limit on how many times you can go into that room, because in main game you can just be in there forever, and that's going to be a problem. Looks like Skinny's going to be coming out of the room in his turtle form, going to whiff a kidnap, and of course Dashing trying to get some of his damage off. Here comes a grapple, going to go for the Vine Trap 1. It does work out, and gets the Vine Trap 2 too. That's going to be 2 sets of 18 damage and a little bit of M1s, but not much afterwards. I'm actually not sure. Does anyone know? Oh, I'm not really looking at chat too much, but I'm not entirely sure if the if the kidnap can get canceled if you get hit. I'm pretty sure it does, but only on the first part of the move, and if you get hit with the second half. So I'm surprised we're not seeing too much use of dashing, trying to, you know, keep the pressure on, considering that since he's not putting pressure on, really, I know that there's a big kidnap coming out from Skinny. I think we're going to see a lot of damage, hopefully, coming out here. But as I was saying earlier, yeah, we're not going to be having that, Chief. You cannot do that. No throwing them in the sewer. Sorry, buddy. If you were at the last tournament, you know what happened to the last guy who went into the sewer. DQ'd. Anyways, looks like he's not going to be able to grab the last shake key there, and he's going to go into the key himself. I don't think he took any damage, though, so all he's really doing is letting Dashing heal himself and stalling this match on for longer. I don't know exactly how long this is going to take. I feel like this is a regretful match that I shouldn't have put in the middle, so I'm not sure how long it's going to take. We could be here all day, and I'm going to really run out of things to say because we're just seeing the same thing over and over again. Quick parry coming out, but I can't see him capitalizing too much. Nope, nothing coming out. Maybe I should just move somewhere else because this could be going a while. I'm very much thinking about going to some other match going on right now, or maybe moving these guys somewhere else. Because I don't know how long this is going to be finished up for, or how long this is going to take. Especially if Skinny's able to just consistently go into his Mr. President room and heal himself back to full health. We are going to see a quick grab of Vine Trap 2 coming out, though, and going to get a decent amount of damage. But like I said, that damage basically meaningless since he can just heal it all back. I think Turtle Mode going to do 2.2 damage with his heavy punch, 1.4 with the normal punch. We're just going to be here all day. And he's going to go back into his room and heal himself back to full. I think I think I'm going to move you guys somewhere else. Let's go find some place where we can move them because this match is going to take 18.5 years. As much as I want to watch this. Actually, Kenny, if you're in here, can you move these guys somewhere else? This match is never going to finish. I don't want to DQ anyone for doing anything that against rules that I didn't specify, but I also don't want to be here all day waiting for Hermit Purple that does no damage and a Mr. President that does no damage never finish their game. I'll pass. Evil and... Wait, no. Wait, is that... Yeah, is Evil and PP around? They are, right? Yeah, let's get you guys in the middle. Oh, I fell off. Alright, Purple Haze and the World AU. This should be, hopefully, a whole lot more interesting than that last match. And I think it will be, because Purple Haze is definitely a more interesting stand to watch. And the World AU's big-ass busted combos with those knives is also interesting. Only 4.1 damage, though, because I think we only saw... I think he might be using boxing here, maybe spin. I'm not sure. We haven't seen charge of either. But those knives certainly being a nuisance. And it also means that... what's his face? I can't even remember his name. Evil. It means that Evil can't totally camp him out by just constantly throwing bulbs. Looks like he's able to do that anyway, though. But the interesting thing here is with PP's the World AU, he's going to be able to camp out Evil's Purple Haze. And with Purple Haze, you gotta be at least a little bit close. Whereas, oh, he got knocked into the sewer. He didn't do that on purpose. I'm not gonna DQ anyone, not yet anyway. So we're gonna see a lot of knives, obviously. The thing is that the World AU can't get too many combos off of Purple Haze because of that ground punch. Because for those who don't know, the ground punch is really, really fast. Like, it's ungodly fast. I think it honestly might be frame 1. I'm not entirely sure, but there it is. It's super, super quick. And if you try to do any of your combos that you try to put pressure on with the World AU, it's just not going to work out. And Rage coming out here for Evil's Purple Haze, that's going to make him take even less damage from these knives, and the knives already weren't doing that much damage because of boxing. We're going to see his barrage get canceled, though. Isn't quite going to get clipped by the barrage himself, and I think that really what PP is going to have to rely on here is going to be the time stop, which we don't see too often for the World AU, because normally the World AU just doesn't need the time stop at all. But honestly, when it comes to getting damage, he's doing almost nothing. I mean, not totally nothing, but it's definitely low. And considering that he's got that extra boxing health, it's not going to be too great. There's, of course, the ground punch coming out. That's effectively free damage, because even if you block it, you still get poisoned. And we're going to see a attempted barrage thrown out here. I wonder if we're going to see a barrage follow-up. Maybe not. I'm gonna throw those bulbs out. There's the ground punch. Gonna do a little bit of damage. He is gonna block. It looks like Evil blocked the chop there, and we know that PP didn't want that. There's the time stop coming out. I'm interested to see just how much damage he's gonna get off of this. Looks like it was a really short time stop though. I'm not sure if that was the maxed out TS or not. Then again, the rage stands did get their time stops nerfed into the floor, despite the fact that they were never the problem. Interesting little tidbit about that. Still not sure why that happened. If anyone knows, let me know why they nerfed the Rage TSs into the ground and left the other ones alone. I'd love to know. Anyways, it looks like both of them are going to be healing back. Oh no, it looks like PP got killed by the poison. Never mind. So that means that Evil's up a stock for sure here. PP going to be coming back, throwing more knives. And a revolver right afterwards, of course, but didn't land the knives, so it's not going to true combo into the gun. I don't know if it's a true combo, but it might as well be, because it's really hard to get out of, depending on the range. We're going to see quite a few bulbs coming out, of course. We haven't seen I think the bulb breaker punch is probably coming here to bail him out of the combo, maybe. It might have just gotten canceled, though. I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. All right, gonna bail himself out of the combo. Evil has to be a little bit careful, because he doesn't want to get caught in those World AU combos, but he also needs to do damage himself. So he is gonna want to be careful when he uses that ground punch, because he can use that to free himself from the World AU's combos. But on the other hand, if he doesn't use it, it's gonna be a little bit harder to get damage. There it is, gonna free himself from the combo, just like I was saying earlier. Gonna throw those bulbs out, but he's just inside of the range. Oh no, that's really bad news. He's gonna get hit with that bulb. That is the bulb breaker punch that I was talking about earlier. And since he got barraged inside of it, he's going to take a massive amount of damage. That's really, really smart from Evil. And I think that PP is definitely taking a ton of damage here. He's obviously retreating since he's so low, and he wants to be able to heal himself, but Evil's just going to keep putting the pressure on, whiffs the ground punch, but is going to get hit with those capsules, and then immediately going to follow it up with a barrage and a jawbreaker right afterwards, which is going to do a lot of damage. I'm surprised they didn't hold the barrage any longer, considering that PP didn't have a stand, but it looks like the World AU combos are going to be coming out. He's going to use the ground punch to bail himself out as per usual, and we're seeing both of them. I think PP tried to just heal there, but it didn't work out in his favor, considering the fact that, of course, he can't heal since he's getting poisoned. Fun fact about those status effects, some you can heal in and some you can't, and poison is one of those that you cannot heal during. You can, of course, heal during fire, but I'm not sure why you would, and it looks like we're going to see Evil taking the match over PP with his Purple Haze. Like I said before, Purple Haze, don't sleep on it. I slept on it, and I regret it big time. It's just those BS time stop stands that really hold you back when you're using anything that doesn't have TS resist. All right. That match will never finish. Is Killingo and Vastrain? Yeah, they're here. Let's see them play. I'd like to play more loser matches games, but there are none, so better this than nothing. So this is gonna be SCR, and I forget. I can't for the life of me remember what Vastrain was playing. Oh, it was the World Over Heaven, I think, right? Yep, all right. Or to get things started, SCR versus the World Over Heaven. Of course, those big time stops being a huge issue here as well as that last match. But it looks like that Reality Overrate Punch is going to get hit with the Your Own Shadow. And there's the time stop coming out. I don't think he's going to be able to... I can definitely see Killingo surviving this, but it's not going to be pretty. He's going to take a bunch of damage. There it is. And of course, those passive boxing buffs and all that other stuff, not going to be helping Killingo whatsoever, considering the fact that Vastrain, of course, having the true damage, ignoring all of it. Looks like Killingo skirting the edge of the bounds here. Gonna have to be careful he doesn't run out of bounds, but of course he's hurting after that time stop and he wants to heal himself back. And the World Over Heaven being one of the few potentially bad matchups for SCR. SCR, of course, being one of the most BS stands in the game that everyone always asks me for a stand review on. Speaking of, if you're wondering why I never do a stand review of SCR, it's because everyone always asks me to do it. And I told you to stop asking me in my DMs about stand reviews. Every time I see it, I delay it. So, in other words, we're never gonna see an SCR review. Anyways, we're going to see Conqueror's Will coming out here. We're going to see how much damage that Kilingo is going to be able to do to Dash Drain in this Conqueror's Will. I think he just missed the cheese. He did miss the cheese, which means that Vastrain's definitely thanking his lucky stars right now that he didn't get hit by that. But unfortunately, Kilingo's really good at parrying, so I don't think we're going to see too many of these reality overwrites, but he is going to get a time stop, and of course that time stop doing huge damage. I don't know if it's going to be quite enough to wrap up the stock, but it's definitely going to do a ton of damage. We're going to see Kilingo probably running away to try to get his health back. There's the Euron Shadow coming out, and he's going to go for the damage instead. I thought we were going to see the healing, but it looks like he's going to go for the damage. Probably the right play just to keep him on his toes, so Vastrain can't just constantly put pressure on. We're going to see the Arrow Barrage coming out, and Vastrain's going to barrage back in kind, and then successfully block the double barrage afterwards, at least a little bit of it, but he is going to take damage from that Jawbreaker. Of course, Vastrain's stalling out a little bit because you know that he... Oh, wow, that was a... I was way too close to that, I guess. Anyways, looks like he did get clipped with that that Heaven Ascended Smite, both of them healing, but of course Vastrain having the projectile and Kilingo not. Exactly what I was about to say. He's probably going to get clipped by these if he doesn't block it, and there it is. Kilingo's got to be really low, and I think he's almost running out of the bounds here, just skirting the very edge. Got to be careful that he doesn't run out. He's going to be eating some of these M1s. It honestly might be a barrage away from dying. He's taking a lot of damage, and if he gets time stopped one more time, I think it's probably over for him.
Nose, bro. I wonder what happened.
A whole lot of nothing, Chief. Anyways, that's how I was born. Deal with it. Anyways, so we're going to see that time stop coming out, and I honestly think Kilingo might die here. Nope, doesn't die. I thought for sure he was gonna die, but maybe not. Looking like a whole lot of damage coming out, of course. And there's the Euron Shadow to get himself out of the a potential combo afterwards. Both of them healing up. I think this is just a few more M1s away from Vastrain taking the Kilingo's first stock. Of course, Kilingo trying to run away so he doesn't take too much damage. And there's a barrage. I'm not sure if that's enough damage to take it, but it very well might be. Nope, not quite, but you know he's got to be really low at this point. He keeps healing himself. He's consistently trying to get those heals off, and we're going to see a Euron Shadow coming out here. Unfortunately, Vastrain barraging too quickly there right afterwards, and not quite it, but I think we might see a time stop real soon. There's a Heaven Ascended Smite going out, 335 damage, of course, and here's the Conqueror's Will. That honestly might be enough to take Vastrain's stock, but I'm not entirely sure. Looks like Vastrain blocked before it happened, so he dodged some of the damage, but not all of it, and he isn't going to get caught by the total cheese, so he's going to be able to throw knives, and like I said, time stop, yep, there it is. About to come off a cooldown, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Not sure if it's enough to finish off Kilingo. He's going to grab a quick reality overwrite punch during the TS because of that end lag that they still haven't fixed on the end of time stop. Both players healing themselves back to full health because they're both looking relatively low after their respective combos. Gonna grab the quick Heaven Ascended Smite, throwing knives afterwards a little bit too early though. Kilingo on the back foot trying to run away, is gonna get clipped by that arrow barrage, but gonna get barraged for it. I'm not entirely sure if these damage trades are worth it though, because that 0.9 isn't going to level up to the 1.7. He is going to parry the reality overwrite though and grab a quick Jawbreaker for it. I think we're going to see, I think we're going to see a Euron Shadow coming out here, of course, and there it is. I'm surprised that Kilingo didn't wait a little bit longer to see if he could grab a Heaven Ascended Smite or something with that, but it's probably fine. He just doesn't want to take too much damage. Another Arrow Barrage coming out. He's going to get barraged for that Arrow Barrage, and of course the double barrage afterwards. Those 0.9s don't do too much damage, but they are going to add up a little bit over time. But the unfortunate thing is with Kilingo's lack of offensive moves, he's going to stall out a lot of the time. And while he's healing this, he's just biding his time for Vastrain to get another time stop. And there's that time stop that I was talking about. And if Vastrain just keeps getting these time stops, eventually he's going to chip the entire health bar down, and he's going to be able to finish him off. I don't know how early or how late we'll see that, but it's inevitable, really, if he keeps getting time stopped. They're really far back here, but I guess they're committing to playing it. We're going to see a quick Heaven Ascended Smite coming out there since Kilingo didn't have... And there's the first stock coming out. Vastrain taking it over Kilingo, but not quite yet. We're not finished. Of course, Vastrain going to try to heal himself up so that he doesn't die immediately, but I think we're going to have to head back into the middle here, or I'm going to have to DQ someone. Alright, so it looks like Vastrain's got his health back. Kilingo, nowhere to be found. Not entirely sure where he went. This match has been interesting because it's really just live or die on this, the World Over Heaven time stop. Because unfortunately, the World Over Heaven doesn't have a whole lot of options against SCR other than time stop. If he tries to use any of his other moves, he's either going to get parried or the Euron Shadow is going to come out and reverse it on him. I hope Kalingo's not changing his stand, because if he is, he's not paying attention. And I'm going to have to send him back. That's going to waste a whole lot more of our time. I think I see him M1ing in spawn. That's not a good sign. I think he just reset because he heard me. Nope, maybe not. All right, looks like we're Kalingo's coming back. SCR. We're fine. Not sure what was going on there, but whatever. All right, so we're going to see a Heaven Ascended Smite coming out here. I'm surprised we didn't see a time stop, and instead we saw the big pressure coming out here from Vastrain. And there's the, I'm surprised we didn't see a time stop after that block break, but of course the Reality Overwrite Punch being a pretty good alternative, to be perfectly honest, considering that's like the only time you'll land it. But we are going to see a Conqueror's Will coming out here from Kalingo, and we're going to see not a whole lot of damage, because Vastrain is going to successfully block the during it and get his time stop of his own. We're going to see probably a lot of damage on Kalingo here. Maybe not. Knives missed for no reason, and all the other moves other than the smite didn't work. Feels bad. You know what? Time stop or YBA is a buggy game, and sometimes it just happens. We're going to see a little of those 4.1 hits, but those aren't going to do nearly as much damage, of course, with those World Over Heaven 10.1 M1s, and there's the 20 damage heavy punch. The World Over Heaven, of course, being a super heavy hitter, considering that it ignores all the damage reduction passives. And that time stop, of course, being ultra powerful itself. There's a Heaven Ascended Smite coming out, that huge AoE move. You just kind of either got to take it or you get block broken, and it looks like Kalingo's committed to taking these rather than getting block broken. Of course, if you get block broken, you get hit with a Reality Overwrite, which is probably a whole lot worse than that 35 damage. Looks like he's going to take the 1.7 from that barrage and immediately get it followed up with some knives. But now that Vastrain doesn't have his barrage, he's going to get barraged in kind and immediately eat that Jawbreaker. I think we might see a time stop relatively soon, though, because it has been a hot minute since we've seen one. And honestly, they're probably both healing here. I think what will probably happen here is Vastrain might time skip in, try to get a little bit of damage, and then time stop, and he's just going to go straight for it. All right. So what we're going to, interesting to see here is how much he's going to be able to get off of this time stop. Looks like it's going to be a whole lot. That was like 4 M1s and a Reality Overwrite. But of course, Kalingo having the ability to just take effectively no damage. Gonna do the arrow barrage to try to reduce damage. It looks like Kalingo's panicking. He must be really low on health. I think this is probably gonna wrap it up, because I can't see Kalingo having that much health left. This is just read after read on those blocks. Yep, that's gonna take it with Vastrain. The unrelenting momentum gonna take the game over Kalingo with his The World Over Heaven.
Not even 10 fingers fit on that forehead.
I wish I knew what that meant, but okay. You know, I get a lot of personal attacks and stuff, so I really am just not fazed by them. I get them all the time. I get like hundreds of them a day. So the personal attacks are not going to work out too well. I just don't really care. See what we got. Skinny and Yeetus are playing. Yeah, those are the guys. Wait, no, they just finished. Never mind. Kalingo just played, so I don't really want to put him on the spot. Let's get Killer and Yeetus just finished. These both just finished. Let's get Killer and Yeetus in the middle. Yeah, by donating those kinds of things, you're literally just giving me money for stuff that I see in my DMs every day. Like, it doesn't accomplish a whole much. Anyways, we're going to see a Star Plat in the World mirror match once again with, I think, Haman versus Boxing, maybe? Not entirely sure. Yeah, Yeetus having Star Plat in the World Boxing, and what's his face? I can't even remember his name. I'm brain dead. Killer, of course, having the star part of the world, Haman. But we are going to see is that an awakened beatdown? No, that's not an awakened beatdown. Killer going to use his awakening, but get beat down during it, which is stuff that we've really not seen too much of, trying to stall things out. A very smart play, honestly, from Yeetus, since he didn't want to deal with that awakening and didn't want to get beat down during it. So he'd rather just hit him with it, he'd rather just hit him with the beatdown while he thinks he can get all this pressure. But he did have to be a little bit careful because, of course, I was about to say it, it's a free parry since you can just hold block when you see any sort of move wind up, since Star Planet of the World has everything be parryable. And, of course, when you have the Awakening for Star Planet of the World, what do you call it? I'm just losing myself here. The parries are automatic if you have Star Planet of the World Awakening. That's what I was trying to say. What the hell just happened? Oh, he's dead. All right, Yeetus taking the first stock from Killer, wrapping that up. That beatdown while Killer was awakened seemed to have really done a decent amount of damage, but mostly just stalled out the awakening so that when Yeetus used his own awakening, it could do a whole lot more damage. With, of course, Killer coming back here. We also have to consider that Haman's damage buff when it comes to certain moves isn't nearly as effective against boxing, considering that boxing has those passives active all the time, whereas if Haman isn't able to breathe, then it just doesn't get its active.
A laugh out of it, lol.
Maybe, but I'm getting paid. We're gonna see a missed beatdown coming out from Yeetus immediately, right there. It's the reality of the situation here is if you throw out your beatdown at this late in the bracket without getting it some sort of confirm, it's probably not going to go well for you, unfortunately. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now with Yeetus versus Killer. Killer is going to grab a quick Aura Kicks, though, going to get some free damage there. And there's a beatdown coming out from Killer, which is going to do a considerable amount of damage considering that it's Haman charged. But as I said earlier, despite the fact that Haman is charged, the boxing passive's active throughout the entire thing, which is going to make the whole beatdown do a little bit less damage. I'm curious to see if we see any follow-ups off beatdowns, because of course you're neutral. You go back to neutral when the beatdown finishes. Both the person that gets ragdolled and the person who did the beatdown. You can react at the same time after it finishes, but you can both move a little bit before you can react. So it's always interesting to see if people go for barrages or any of that. We're going to see Killer try to barrage first, I think to do a little bit of damage maybe, but he's going to regret it because he's immediately going to get hit by... He's immediately going to get hit by Yeetus' barrage right afterwards. Going to whiff that Platinum Slam and eat an Aura Kicks for it. Not exactly the situation Killer wants to be in. And Killer whiffing a Aura Kicks of his own. He keeps taking M1 damage.
Stand tourney next time.
That does sound like fun. I'm very heavily considering that. Unfortunately, those could also take forever, so we'll see. I'll decide what I want to do when it comes to that, I'll decide what I want to do when it comes to that kind of stuff. At least by Monday, and I'll put out a video letting people know what it is by Monday, hopefully, assuming I'm not incompetent. Looks like we're going to see it wrapping up there. I think Yeetus just took the second stock, which was going to wrap up this game. Most of it I didn't even commentate because I was reading donations and responding to those. So, oh well, but Yeetus takes it.
Eyebrows are having a civil war with his hairline.
Yep. Whatever you say, Chief. Appreciate the $2. Let's see here. It was Kalingo and Evil. They got sent off to play, right? Yeah. Oh, wait, no, they didn't. Never mind. Let's get Kalingo and Evil. Yeah. I think Evil's the one with Purple Haze, right? Maybe? I know Kalingo looks like he's switched. I'm assuming that's the World Over Heaven. Yeah, it's got to be because of that idol pose. Obviously tired of getting killed by the World Over Heaven when he's trying to use SCR, so he's going to be using it himself here. I think that Evil has Purple Haze, so it should be an interesting match. What we did see last time is when Evil went up against the Time Stop, he got obliterated by just that, Time Stop. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to adapt this time around. Not that there's really not a whole lot you can do to adapt against Time Stop. Kalingo going in straight away, gonna trade his Gonna trade his Heaven Ascended Smite for a Bulb Breaker Ground Punch, which is definitely a positive trade for Kilingo. Kilingo probably just waiting until he can get his good chance to use Time Stop and wrap up the match as soon as possible. But he's going to take a lot of damage from this poison because he keeps tanking these hits, and he's not
allowed for passives.
And he's not able to block any of them. Looks like the Reality Overwrite Punch got canceled by a Heavy Punch there right before it came out, and Kilingo's really, really getting pressured here. He's not having a chance. There's Rage coming out. We haven't seen a single Time Stop yet, which is really interesting. I'm surprised we didn't see it when he went for, yeah, there's the Smite, and he's of course getting hit by the Reality Overwrite Punch, and there's the, not the Reality Overwrite Punch. He's going to get hit again during Time Stop. I don't think he's going to be able to get anything off of this. Yep, going to get nothing and get parried right afterwards. This might wrap up Kilingo's stock with Evil's Purple Haze. Might just take him out, especially after that Bulb Breaker Punch and a Barrage. The Bulb Breaker Punch doing a decent amount of damage, but of course that poison sticking around the entire time afterwards.
Don't listen to them. You and your forehead is amazing.
Okay. Thank you. I know, my forehead is wonderful. I appreciate that. Anyways, I think Kilingo only has the one knife upgrade, which is really weird. I haven't seen that. I'm assuming it had something to do with skill points and not having enough. But it should be interesting to see because he can't do nearly as much damage with knives. Looks like the Heaven Ascended Smite got canceled there, but he is going to Kilingo's going to manage to grab the Reality Overwrite Punch, which is really going to put the pressure on like we're seeing right now. Unfortunately, Evil's going to take a bunch of damage from that Reality Overwrite Punch, but it's not going to be enough to put him out of the game just yet. And with that damage, with that true damage, being able to completely ignore those damage reduction passives, both Evil's Rage and his Boxing aren't going to help him. What? Anyways, we're going to see a Time Stop coming out here from Kilingo. I wonder how much damage he's going to be able to get off of it. Maybe a little bit. Actually, quite a bit. I don't think it's going to be able to finish him off. No, you can't, because I don't know you. Anyways, so we've got, it looks like Kilingo's going to grab the first stock versus Evil here, but he was taking a lot of damage. I think the big factor here is that Kilingo is really mopping up these boxing people, considering that their reduction passives aren't doing anything, while his reduction passives are working. So even if Evil's going to manage to get a lot of bulbs down, it's not going to make too much of a difference, considering that he's constantly taking damage, and it does a lot of damage. And that Rage that's supposed to help him out, the Rage that does a whole lot for other people, isn't going to help.
500.
I don't think that's a good idea. That seems like a very poor idea, actually. We're going to see a Reality Overwrite come out here, but it doesn't quite work out in his favor because it's too far. And of course, if it did hit, I think Evil probably would have parried it, but we don't know. Not necessarily. People mess up sometimes. I myself mess up more often than I'd like to admit. Or, well, I don't even have to admit it. You see it all the time on stream when I get my ass kicked. But anyways, what we're going to see here, I was about to say, I think we're probably going to see a Smite coming out. I'm not sure where he got time stopped at, though. It looks like he just flew away. Did he fall into the sewer? No, he's down there. He's going to take a little bit of damage, but he's not going to get hit by the Reality Overwrite. And of course, that Bulb Breaker Punch was doing damage to Kilingo during that entire duration of that time stop. Poison doesn't care if time is stopped. It's still going to kill you. And so Kilingo's got to be hurting quite a bit here from that poison since he stood in it for so long, since he wanted to get his damage. He didn't really have too much of a choice, though, because he had no choice but to try to get the damage during the whole thing. That's going to be a Reality Overwrite for sure with that block break using the Heaven Ascended Smite. The one singular Heaven Ascended Knives doing enough stun so that he can get some more M1s. We've seen a lot of M1 damage coming up from Kilingo, and that's really all he needs is that M1 damage, considering that Purple Haze is going to do next to no damage compared to those 10 damage M1s that the World of Heaven has access to. Bulb Breaker Punch whiffing there, and looks like he's going to trade the Bulb Breaker Punch for the end. That's going to wrap it up. I don't even get to finish my thought. Kilingo's the World Over Heaven wrapping
Eclipse,
it up and knocking Eclipse's Purple Haze out of the tournament. No, I'm not. All right, let's see here. Fast Train and PSP are definitely playing. Let's get. Sorry, Kilingo, you just played. You're on the docket right now. It's Kilingo and Yeetus. Let's see it whenever you're ready and you get your cooldowns back and whatnot. Man has to play match after match. I feel bad for him. No breaks. All right, looking like we're getting things started. There's a Heaven Ascended Smite coming out right here, and we're going to see trying to get the time stop into the barrage. I try to do that a lot myself. Usually doesn't work out in my favor, and that's exactly what we're seeing there, but he is going to be able to confirm the Reality Overwrite punch off of the time stop, and it looks like there was a beatdown. I don't know what my ISP was doing there, but I am going to see the beatdown coming out right before, after everything freezes up. We're going to see a decent amount of damage, but like I said, I've said it 100 times in that last match, and I'll probably end up saying it 100 times here. Because of those boxing passives and the true damage aspect of the World Over Heaven, that beatdown isn't going to do that much damage, of course, whereas any of these M1s that Kilingo is landing are going to do a whole lot more damage than any of the things that Yeetus is able to land. But beatdown, not anything to laugh at for sure. Going to do a considerable amount of damage, but there's 40 damage just off of M1s. 4 M1 clicks, 40 damage. That's just the reality of what we're looking at here. Some more M1s coming out. He is going to grab... Yeetus is going to grab a Aura Kicks of his own, isn't going to try to capitalize too much off of it. That one knife coming out, some more clicks, and there's a parry coming out, of course, from Yeetus. Doesn't quite get the Reality Overwrite punch that he wanted. Kilingo maybe getting a little bit too greedy, but he's going to barrage back against the boxing barrage, and I think he's going to get barraged here. Yep, there it is. Going to get barraged by the Star Platinum, but he's going to get parried, and he's going to get barraged for it. I'm not sure if he wanted to time stop there, if he even had time stop, if he had Reality Overwrite, but it looks like we're going to see a Heaven Ascended Smite coming out. Not going to quite hit. Going to grab him with that one hit of the knives, and he is going to successfully land Reality Overwrite, which is going to seriously put this match in his favor. But then again, he just got beat down again. That's the second beatdown coming out, and I think that's really what he's been taking the most damage from, Kilingo. But it's not a low amount of damage, that's for sure. It's a Star Planet of the World beatdown. That thing messes you up. It really is a question of how much damage can Kilingo get in between these beatdowns, and so far it has been a lot, so I'm interested to see. There's another 35 damage, and we also have to consider that the World Over Heaven has that heal, which is something that Star Planet of the World does not have access to. They might both have time stops, but they're not the same stand, not even close. Same type of stand, my ass. Anyways, we're going to see more M1s coming out here from both parties, but it looks like Kilingo is going to take Yeetus' first stock despite those two beatdowns. Like I said, true damage aspect, incredibly powerful in these boxing on boxing matchups, because just a few M1 trades and you're winning or losing depending on who's using the World Over Heaven. Looks like we're going to see Yeetus come back here and immediately get clipped by that Heaven Ascended Smite. He isn't going to get anything off it, but he is going to get immediately hit straight afterwards by the Reality Overwrite punch and grab a quick knife to the face. Doesn't want to be getting hit by that. Looks like Yeetus is mostly blocking here, playing on the defensive, doesn't want to take too much damage, going to get hit by the knife. Reality Overwrite punch, not going to hit him with another one, which means that effect's going to go away soon, but there's another beatdown. Third beatdown, but none of these beatdowns have done enough damage to finish off Kilingo, and I don't think this one's going to be any different. I think Yeetus is probably panicking right now, realizing that he's getting pressured too hard and he hasn't gotten too many chances to just wait for his cooldowns to come back, and most of his cooldowns just aren't as powerful as the World Over Heavens. There's a time stop coming out, but he's going to get hit with the smite right afterwards, which is going to basically deny all his damage in time stop and make him take 35 damage for even using the time stop. Going to whiff the Reality Overwrite punch, though. It looked like it probably should have hit. Not sure what happened there. Boxing Barrage is going to come out. Boxing Barrage, not a great idea considering that... Oh, no, that's really bad. He's going to get the Aura Kicks, though. Yeetus not totally out of it, but it's not looking great for him. That was maybe the worst interaction he could have taken, but he is going to manage to parry out the Reality Overwrite punch. The problem with these boxing barrages is it's just not a good trade you can take. You're taking like 1.2, and that's going to wrap it up. The problem with those boxing barrages, Kilingo takes it, is he's only dealing like 1.2 damage per hit, whereas Kilingo's got those 1.7s just constant over and over again, and obviously boxing barrage being way slower. It's just not an optimal trade.
Why don't you turn on cinematic mode on?
I had it on earlier, and I turned it off for some reason, and I forgot to turn it back on. That's why. So, because I forgot. There you go. Yeah, the Aerosmith would be play it better, but it has the plane sound that constantly goes... Alright, so it looks like we've got, I think, 2 matches left. There's Vast Strain versus PSP, which is playing right now, I believe. And, oh wait, is it? Vast Strain and PSP, do you guys play? I'm going to assume not then. Looks like no. Alright. So this is going to be determining who goes into winners finals versus who goes into grand finals versus who goes into losers finals. So it should be interesting to see. PSP, of course, with our Star Platinum of the World, Haman, and Vastrain with that World Over Heaven that managed to knock Kilingo into the losers bracket. We're going to be seeing some damage come out right here immediately as PSP used the time stop as soon as he could, which is probably a good use considering that, like I said earlier, if you're not doing damage, then it's just, well, you're not getting damage or you're not doing damage. So it's just sitting there on your cooldown bar that the world, and even if they have TS resist, like, you might as well try to use it. If you get it, you get big damage. If you don't get it, then it's not the end of the world. It's not like you take a boatload of damage or anything. He's going to grab the Heaven Ascended Smite right there, though. Going to do a little bit of damage. And we're going to see a Reality Overwrite punch coming through here, which is not really good whatsoever for PSP. PSP going to awaken because of that Reality Overwrite punch. Probably wants to scare Vastrain a little bit. And he's going to throw out the beatdown in neutral, not going to work out, which is really, really, really not good. And that awakening is going to increase his damage, but it's not going to give him that damage reduction that he's probably used to having since the World Over Heaven True Damage. Going to talk about it for the 800th time, of course. And if you have True Damage, you're not going to be able to do anything. And there it goes. If you have that awakening and you have True Damage, doesn't mean anything. You're still taking damage, same amount of damage as before. True Damage does not mess around. Gives flashbacks to when Haman was able to use the true damage and you just did a true, like, 2-point-something barrage. That was fair. That's so dumb. Anyways, looks like we're going to be coming back right here. Someone's trying to interrupt for some reason. Not sure why. We're going to see a block break coming out, which is definitely what PSP wanted, considering that he's down a stock and he hasn't been able to do too much damage for most of the game. Going to grab the parry on that Reality Overwrite punch. We haven't seen too many parries on that this match quite yet, so it's good to see them start. There's a Heaven Ascended Smite, not going to be able to do much, and Vastrain going to get a quick heal. Just those little few bits of damage that he took earlier, he's going to try to heal them back. And there's the World Over Heaven, of course, Reality Overwrite healing him a bit back even more. That's another move that we haven't seen used too much, and I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen it, considering that the more often that's not on cooldown, or the more often that's on cooldown, the more often you get to use it. So it's kind of interesting that we haven't seen too much of that Reality Overwrite heal, considering that, that 18 damage might not look like a whole lot, but if you get 4 of them, that's over 40 damage that you've healed back. So you just gotta use it when you've got it. Anyways, looks like we're going to see a Reality Overwrite. It's going to successfully land. No parry this time. Going to throw out the beatdown. Doesn't hit, and I think that's going to bode really, really poorly for PSP, considering that he's not hit any beatdowns this match. All he's really gotten is some time stops that have done a little bit of damage, but not nearly enough. Of course, Vastrain healing, PSP wanting to heal, running away, skating the edge of the bounds since he knows he can't take that much damage. He's going to wait too long, though. He's going to let the Heaven Ascended Smite come back, but here comes a Reality Overwrite punch. I knew that was going to be coming out, and it's going to clip that. The end lag being a little bit too long on that zoom punch after the block, and he's going to successfully get the Overwrite, times it perfectly. And without a leg, I think PSP is in deep here. It honestly could very well wrap it up. Going to whiff the Reality Overwrite punch, but I don't, yeah, that's going to wrap things up with, what was that? Vastrain taking it over PSP. Why are there a bunch of gold coins? Okay. All right. So it looks like we're going to be seeing losers finals, which is PSP and Kilingo. That determines who goes to grands and fights Vastrain. So we're either seeing the World Over Heaven Ditto, I imagine, or a Star Platinum versus the World Over Heaven. So it should be interesting. Of course, if PSP manages to win this, he'll be going back up against, or actually no, both Kilingo and PSP got sent to losers by Vastrain. So that's actually, it's a grudge match between all 3 of them, really. All right, so we've got that Haman charge is actually probably a better play than boxing, considering that with the boxing, you're constantly losing since you don't gain any damage, but you also don't get the damage resistance since the World Over Heaven, of course, with the true damage. Talks about it for the 500th time. Eclipse, shut up about the true damage, right? But the true damage, ignoring the World or boxing passives, but the extra damage you get from Haman is not getting ignored. So that's definitely just extra damage applied. So it should be interesting to see the difference between these two players' playstyles, because of course Kilingo and Vastrain not playing exactly the same, and we're finally seeing a confirm of that beatdown off of a block break. We haven't seen that in a very long time, for most of the tournament really, and it was driving me absolutely nuts that I would see block breaks and no beatdowns, and thankfully I got at least one, so I think I can die happy now. But that beatdown not doing a super huge amount of damage. The Haman was charged for a little bit at the beginning of it, but not a whole lot of it. I think he probably could have waited a little bit more, charged some Haman, and then went for it. But it looks like he's not going to fall for that Heaven Ascended Smite. He is going to take, Kilingo going to take quite a bit of damage from this time stop. Not a whole lot, but definitely not negligible. He's going to want to heal it back, as you can see. Healing, going to try to bait PSP in and get him with a Reality Override punch. And it looks like it's going to work out for him. Looks like he lost a left arm, which means that Kilingo is going to be doing 11.6 on each of these M1s, which is damage that really PSP doesn't want to be taking. Here's another Awakening, and we might see history repeat itself here, because unfortunately, there's a 40 damage Heaven Ascended Smite. Unfortunately, as I've said 100 times about that Reality Override, the ability to bypass passives, that Awakening is not going to be helping him too much. But with the Haman boost and the Awakening, he's going to do a little bit more damage, which isn't necessarily bad. If he had the Awakening and the Beatdown and Haman all stacked on top of each other, we'd probably see a lot of damage, but I think he's going to get punished a little bit. 1M1, I think Kilingo's probably just timing him out here. Doesn't want to fight the Awakening too much, just in case he gets beat down. Looking like he's going to grab a quick Heaven Ascended Smite here. Not sure if he's going to be able to get anything off of it. Doesn't look like he's going to get too much off of it. There's a Reality Override punch. Looks like it missed, but it did actually land. And there's the beatdown that I was expecting right out of hit stun while he was getting M1. The beatdown, of course, not going to be able to do too much damage, but I think it's definitely going to at least shift the momentum a little bit into PSP's favor, because so far the entire match has been Kilingo favored, and he's just been putting the pressure on, and PSP hasn't been able to do a whole lot. This will let him get his leg back, which means he's not under the effects of Reality Override anymore. He's going to get hit with the Heaven Ascended Smite, and there's Kilingo not going to parry, but he is going to grab another Reality Override, which means that PSP, he's going to get taken out here. PSP's been under the negative debuff of Reality Override, honestly, for most of this match, because he keeps getting hit by those. He needs to be a little bit more careful, I think. He really, really wants that extra damage, but every time he tries to go for it, he ends up getting hit by the Reality Override. He probably needs to drop maybe 1 or 2 M1s during those interactions, so that he's not in end lag and he's able to parry the Reality Override. Like I was talking about just there, if he'd gone for 1 M1 and then waited a minute, since Kilingo's pretty much done a Reality Override every time, he would have been able to react to it and parry it. But unfortunately, that's just not what we're seeing right now. And Kilingo putting on even more pressure, just like we've seen the last stock. It looks like, there it is. See there, that's exactly what I'm talking about. He went for 1 M1, waited a minute, and there's the Reality Override punch, and it's a free parry, really. If you're ready for it, it's pretty easy to parry, but because of the high damage of Tuo's M1s, you really got to be careful, since if you don't block and you just wait until they try to use the Reality Override, then you're going to take a boatload of damage from the M1s, because if you get hit with 4 of them, that's 40 damage, and you probably don't want to be taking that. So what's better, getting hit, taking the 40 damage or getting hit by Reality Override? Honestly, it's probably the 40 damage, because getting hit by Reality Override can just cripple you completely, both literally and figuratively in the match. Considering if you get hit, you start losing the momentum, you can't move. There's a whiffed beatdown. I think Kilingo probably knew it was coming. Heaven Ascended Smite going to come out, doesn't catch him on the get up, is going to grab a quick Skull Crusher, but he's already so low, and yep, there it goes. Kilingo knocking out PSP and moving on to Grand Finals. So we've got the World Over Heaven Ditto, assuming Kilingo doesn't switch. I think we're probably gonna wait for cooldowns, and then we'll get grand. Here it goes. All right, grand finals. We're seeing the World Over Heaven Ditto, of course. Earlier we did see Kilingo fight against Vastrain with his SCR, and it didn't work out in his favor. It was definitely a fairly close match, but it also wasn't it was not even close to a complete massacre. So I can't see this going super poorly. But unfortunately, I might eat my words here, because Vastrain has gotten a ludicrous amount of damage off of Kilingo, and we just started things. So honestly, as much
much as I'm looking forward to a bracket reset, I don't know how likely we are to see it. After all, we just saw him get hit by all 4 of hits of those knives. But we can't count Kalingo out just yet, because of course the World Over Heaven being a massive comeback stand, if he lands 1 reality overwrite, it's going to be doing a whole lot of damage. But if he's getting hit by the reality overwrites, that's not going to be looking good. He's going to get the parry, but I don't think he had reality overwrite up quite yet. And the big difference, deal breaker here, is that we're going to see a lot of Vastrain having the good parry there from Kalingo. Vastrain has the triple knives upgrade, and Kalingo doesn't, which actually does end up losing him a decent amount of damage. I'm not sure why he only has 1 knife, but we've seen multiple times in this match that Kalingo's gotten hit. Oh, did he just take him out? Kalingo just took him out. Vastrain must not have too good of vitality, because he was doing more damage than him seemingly that entire time, and he still managed to take the stock. So I might stand corrected here. It looked like Vastrain was taking it home, but obviously not, because Kalingo with the first stock taken. Both of them going with their Heaven Ascended Smites respectively. One of them lost damage on it because the stand got desummoned. So we're going to see, I'm not entirely sure who it was, but I doubt it was enough damage for it to make too much of a difference. Kalingo's still a little bit damaged, I think, from that previous interaction, but surely not that much. We're going to see a reality overwrite punch coming out here from Kalingo. It's going to land on Dastrain, or Vastrain rather. Dastrain. I don't know why I keep thinking his name starts with a D. But the unfortunate thing here, like I've said before, oh, that's not good. That is not good. You do not want to, yep, that's exactly what I was thinking was going to happen. You don't want to be getting hit, you don't want to be whiffing those, because you can get punished immediately by them. Vastrain going to miss the reality overwrite punch. He might eat one. Yeah, he was being careful there, letting go of his block, taking some M1 so that he doesn't get hit with reality overwrite. But with the thing that we're seeing here, I think the reason that Kalingo took that first stock is even with these combos that we're seeing Vastrain get out, Kalingo's just getting more M1s. We're going to see Kalingo barrage first here. I think he probably thinks Vastrain's pretty hurt. I'm not sure if he is or not, but he did go for the barrage first to try to go to a little bit of damage. We're going to see a Heaven Ascended Smite here, which is going to do a big amount of damage. And there's a reality overwrite getting parried, so he's going to eat a reality overwrite himself. Going to barrage to try to get out of it maybe, or just do a little bit of damage, but of course Vastrain having a barrage of his own. And there goes the second stock. We're seeing 1-1 grand finals, potential bracket reset, depending on how Kalingo does on this last stock, because of course this is his tournament stock, and if he loses here, that's it. Game over. Coming back with a vengeance, does not want Vastrain to heal it back, but it looks like he's going to be able to get a little bit of it at least. I think we saw Vastrain's Heaven Ascended Smite get canceled there. Not entirely sure, but I think that's what just happened. Both hitting with their AoE knives. Someone's punching me. We just saw a parry come out from Kalingo, parrying the Heaven Ascended, or the Reality Overwrite, and then get a Reality Overwrite of his own. And he's going to get a little bit of damage from that barrage, but Vastrain is going to manage to M1 him out of it. And we're going to see a bracket reset. Kalingo not out of it yet, looking to take home this tournament. Now, you're not done yet, Chief. Vastrain, you're not done, buddy. Kalingo has to win again. He went from losers. If you come from losers, you gotta win. You gotta win twice. That's how it works. Bracket reset. First time we've seen it. All right, looks like we're getting the second match started. Something I didn't really expect to see, to be perfectly honest with you. But I'm really excited to see it, since we saw it being close in that first tournament, and the second tournament being, or not the second tournament, or the first tournament was mostly a blowout. The second tournament, it was kind of close, but this one definitely being an extremely close game. Kalingo coming back with a vengeance after losing with that SCR, and obviously getting a whole lot more success with the World Over Heaven. It's really matchup dependent, because SCR beats a lot of stands, but the World Over Heaven, kind of a rough matchup for him because of that time stop. We're going to see a Heaven Ascended Smite come out. That looked like it was really far for him, but it is going to be able to connect with Vastrain. Vastrain grabbing a quick heal and a Heaven Ascended Smite of his own, and we're going to see a time stop come out here. We'll see how much he can get off the time stop. Looks like he might get a lot off this. Reality Overwrite? Yep, there it is. All right, Kalingo's really going to be hurting after that time stop. He's going to be taking a lot of M1s. I think Kalingo just landed a Reality Override of his own, but I think Kalingo's probably hurting a lot more than Vastrain, but I said that the first game, and then Kalingo ended up killing him, so I could be completely wrong. Without health bars and stuff, it's hard to tell, but of course, we are seeing that Kalingo's on the offensive and Vastrain's on the defense, but there's a really good, he's going to cancel the the reality override, but there's not enough end lag for him to be able to get hit with the... Oh, nope, first stock taken by Vastrain. I take it back. I was actually right. It looks like Killingo was maybe getting a little bit more overzealous, but Killingo, with his bracket reset, might still not be able to... He's still in this, but he might not be able to take it. We'll see. Vastrain healing that damage back with the debuff going away, and we're gonna see if Vastrain is able to get a block break there. Gonna get some knives and a reality overrate. Lots of big damage, but he is gonna get parried, and instead of the reality overrate, we're gonna see a Heaven Ascended Smite. I'm sure that's not what Killingo wanted, but I'm sure he's happy with damage nonetheless. Killingo gonna whiff the reality overrate punch and gonna get a heavy punch of his own. Not gonna be parried. We've seen Vastrain and Killingo both very good at parrying. We've seen a lot of parries in this game, but that's not gonna be one of them. Like I said earlier, though, the big thing here is that one knife for Killingo, I think, is really holding him back. Because Vastrain, when he gets a block break, he's able to do knives and the reality overrate, which does a ton of damage. Here comes a Heaven Ascended Smite. It's going to whiff, and here comes a reality or a Heaven Ascended Smite of Killingo's own, and of course he's going to get the reality overrate punch. Vastrain trying to bail himself out with a barrage, but it's not going to work out, and this maybe takes his stock. Nope, not quite. There's another trade that Killingo didn't want to take. I think Killingo is probably hurting, but he wants to be able to take this stock before Vastrain's able to heal it all back. He just wants, because he knows it's all or nothing, and there it is. It's 1-1 in grand finals on a bracket reset. It might never get closer than this. Here comes Vastrain coming back with those triple knives. It's gonna be interesting to see, because of course Killingo probably not able to completely full heal, but Vastrain's gonna get hit with a reality overrate and get his reality overrate parried, which means even with that full health bar, he's gonna be taking a lot of damage here. And there's another heavy punch coming out from Vastrain, another not parry from Killingo, but Killingo's getting so many M1s. Vastrain coming back with that full health bar, but I think he's gonna be super low. He's taking so many M1s here. If he gets maybe barraged, he could just die. He's gonna get the reality overrate though. I think this barrage could finish him off though. He's taking so much damage. Killingo's hit him with like 800 M1s. It's unbelievable. Are we gonna see it though? With that reality overrate, of course, your hitbox gets extended, so it's way easier to hit those knives, but Vastrain on the defensive, he came back with full health, and now he's not even close to that. He got hit with 18 or so M1s. That's so much damage. And there it is! Killingo taking it! The third Eclipse. Oh my god. I'm at a loss for words. That was... Holy shit! God damn! The momentum. That was nuts! Oh man, I'm sweating and I wasn't even playing. Jeez, god damn. Oh, huge showing from Vastrain though. Killingo managing to pull it all the way through from losers, getting the bracket reset and pulling it home. What a showing. You know what? Killingo got sent through the gauntlet. He deserves it. He played match after match after match. And when he lost with that SCR game, he wanted to come back with a vengeance. And oh my god, did he. Pulling it all the way through last stock. God damn. Congratulations to Killingo. I'll update your role shortly on the Discord once I finish the stream. Another thing that I'm going to be doing in future, and I'll probably go back and do something for the previous winners, is I want to have some sort of I want to get some sort of reward going that isn't just the Discord thing, but I don't know what to do that also won't just completely cripple me. We can't do cash though. I would do that, but I don't think I can because of it would be like gambling or something to do with Roblox TOS. I'm fairly certain I can't do it. Maybe I can, but I'm almost certain it's against TOS, so we'd have to do something else. But yeah, I'm looking to get some other stuff going on. But that was our best tournament so far, hands down. Next time, hopefully we'll have a like a goal, or not a goal, a theme. So we'll have a specific stand. Someone said non-humanoid stands. That could be funny. It would be interesting to see what people chose to play. You know, like how many Mr. Presidents we'd see. Nitro would be good. That is a good idea. But yeah, we'll see what's going on. Anyways, that should wrap up the tournament and the stream. Thanks for those coming out. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. That was crazy. And yeah, I don't think I have too much else to say. My voice is all hoarse, dude. I've been yelling for the last 2.5 hours nonstop. I need a co-commentator, dude. I don't have enough room in the game, though. Anyways, that's going to be it. So have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Thanks for coming out again, and I'll see you next time. Good night, guys.